And I bring to you an exciting program which I call Education in Zambia. On this program, we'll endeavor to highlight literacy in Zambia, skills development, government-recognized schools and learning institutions, as well as job market opportunity. Education in Zambia comes to you on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, only on Grace TV. Grace TV, sharing God's grace. It's a wonderful afternoon to everyone that is tuned in to Grace TV. Welcome to Education in Zambia. Our sincere apologies for coming in a bit late. We had some technical difficulties which were beyond our control. However, we are glad to have you join us on the program today. I am not alone. I'll be chatting with Pastor Stephen Zambudue. He is the overseer of God's Dimension Ministries. Pastor, good afternoon and welcome to
Good afternoon.
Education in Zambia.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be with you on your program.
It's a pleasure
an honor
for us
on my
to
part
have
as
you.
well.
Okay, how's the weather treating you?
At least today is a little bit cool. It's been so hot the past
Lately.
days.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
it
Oh,
really
yes.
has been so hot. At least it's cooled down. I don't know whether it's raining outside because we're in the studio. I really can't tell.
That's
but
the thing.
at least it's become cool.
All right, so welcome you to Education in Zambia.
Thank you. Thank you.
As we're chatting in the background, you have a heart for education. There's a heart for education in you.
Indeed.
Though now what you are into is pastoring.
Yeah, indeed. At one point, I actually wanted to become a teacher.
Okay.
Though that wasn't my initial idea.
Okay.
Because I come from a family where on my father's side, there was accounts and stuff. And my mother's side, there were a number of teachers and stuff. So I wanted to go into the accounts part. But things didn't work out. I studied marketing when I was at college, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, but even after doing my marketing, I thought, let me get into education. Maybe I can start teaching and stuff. I wanted to apply. But some people discouraged me. And already I was doing a bit of ministry and all.
Okay.
And I was offering tuitions to some kids
I
in
thought
the
you were
in the
arrested
community.
or captured by God.
I guess partly that's what happened, I would say. In a way, that's what happened. The call of God also just was taking me in a totally different direction altogether.
All right.
Yeah, but education is something that's still at heart.
Praise the Lord. And now today we are looking at education from home.
Okay.
I'm glad you are a parent.
Okay.
How many kids?
Oh, yes, I am a parent. I've got 3 kids, 2 girls and 1 boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Their age?
The oldest being 10, the youngest being 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with education at heart, how do you see to it that you educate your children from home? Like I said to you in the background, that we started with education at infants level.
Okay.
And then we picked a scripture from the Bible that says, train up a child in the way that it should go. When it grows, it will not depart. So you've been a teacher at heart, of course, with the title of a pastor. You are now at home. You're not at the pulpit. You're not in church. You're not in a conference. You're at home. How do you educate your children? Do you think education is important at a household level?
It definitely is. In fact, let's even remove the title pastor. Let's even remove the issue of me having an interest in teaching in the earlier. Let's just look at me as a parent.
As a parent, that's right.
I should be interested, and I know which is true for any other parent out there. You are interested in the welfare of your children.
That's right.
You are interested in the growth of your children. So for them to really grow into full, mature individuals, you need to be fully 110% involved in their lives. Yeah,
like
you need to be there. I remember one of the things I learned when I was at Bible school is there's a principle that was emphasized so much when it comes to children. It's not so much of the quality time, but quantity time that you spend with your kids. But if you look at our systems and the things we're involved in as parents, most of us are so busy. You're busy with work. You're both parents are busy. But no matter how busy we are, we need to start finding the time to start educating our children, because there are things that they cannot be taught at school, but only at home. For example, this is a Christian station where we're on, and I'm a pastor. Where do I expect my kids to learn Christian values from if not home? They should start from home.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and I believe we all understand that there is formal and informal education.
That's true.
Yeah. So I should be involved in the livelihoods of my kids. And if you talk about training, I should make sure I train them the values that I want them to know. I should teach them about life. I should teach them about the world. That responsibility lies on me as well as a parent. So I should be involved. I should make the time, no matter how busy I am.
Many people in different sectors of society, they would say it's not about quantity, it's about quality. But you say it's about
quantity time.
Quantity and not quality.
Not quality time.
Can you explain that?
Quality time, mainly they'll look, you might not spend enough time, but give them the quality or bring out the best in the little time that you spend with them. I do not agree with that, because the Bible in Deuteronomy says when you walk with them, when you sit with them, teach them these laws.
So that takes time.
Yeah, that takes time. And you know, the interesting thing, we don't have forever with our kids. So the best time to start educating them, sadly, because they're going to grow up and they'll leave your house. They'll leave and start living their own lives.
That's right.
You know, but when you train them up the right way, at least you have a comfort in your heart. It says, okay, I have taught them the needed principles. Now it's up to them to either apply them or not. At least they won't point at you or accuse you for not doing your job. So as a parent, I have a job. I have a duty. I have a responsibility to my kids. I should make sure I do my responsibility. And we should tag team with your wife. It might not always just be you to do your role, but you need to share the responsibilities. You need to talk, like who's going to do what and what. Because, for example, as pastors, we are very busy people.
Very busy.
You know, because at times you find you're getting back home, it's already late, and maybe your kids are sleeping. Yeah. But I believe that's the time also where your wife should come in and do her part. So you do it together as a couple, as husband and wife.
But sadly, in some homes, we have both husband and wife working. And then we leave our children to the person we bring in as a helper in the home. So how can that be balanced?
When you come from work, because here's the thing. The world will keep demanding from you. And if you keep giving and giving, and they'll be taking, but at what cost? At what cost? What kind of children? Because your legacy, my legacy, is in our kids. If you talk about leaving a legacy, it's in our kids. So at what cost? At what expense? Are you just going to be giving to the world and you're neglecting your children? For example, you find pastors' kids at times are the most neglected. Because of our schedules.
Sometimes they could be the most notorious.
Because
I've seen them.
Yeah, because they're being neglected. You find you're taking care of other people's kids.
Other people's children.
You're pouring your heart, your wisdom, your life into other people's kids, but you're forgetting your own kids.
Okay, I would like to acknowledge Modisani is watching. Thank you so much, Modisani, though I'm not unable to pronounce your other name. How do you pronounce? I wish I could know how do you pronounce that name. But thank you so much that you are watching. Yes, Pastor, you can go ahead.
So we just have to, there's a need to reschedule. There's a need to make the time. And some things we just need to start saying no to them. You can't say yes to everything that's being put on you. You know, like work, there will always be a demand for the next project. There will always be a demand, you know, for the next thing that you need to do. But your children are more than a project. Those are, those are living beings that are looking up to you, and they need that father, mother figure in their life. I come from a background where both my parents used to work. But if I recall and I look back, one of the most joyful memories I have was when my father would be at home and he would make time, play games with us and do all kinds of stuff, and just share his life and all. I'm
glad you say you would be happy when daddy is home.
Yeah, those were one
of the
best moments.
Are you aware that there are some homes where the father figure is like the lion of the tribe of his family? we hear daddy and everyone, whoop, 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 you just go and hide. But I'm glad for you. You are happy that daddy was home.
That is a sad scenario. I mean, I know a father represents the disciplinary part of the family and stuff. But as much as you need to be firm, you also need to be friendly. You cannot be firm all the time to a point where your kids run away from you. How are you going to teach them the things that make you to be who you are? You know, and on a sad note, at times you find certain parents have had issues that have happened to them, and they get to pass them on to their own kids. They were neglected when growing, so they don't even know how to do this. You know, at times they don't even know how to be a parent or how to be a father to your own kids. But identity in the life of a child, either male or female, comes from a father. You know, and at times people don't know the important role that they have to play. I was watching a video just in the morning where people were congratulating people for the awards that they were being given to them, and everyone was just saying, "I want to thank my mother. I want to thank my mom." And I'm like, "Where's the father?
Where's the father?
Where are the fathers in all this?" You know, a sad story. But we need to be present also in the lives of our kids. And
I'm sure the fathers are listening out there, that fathers, you really have to play a role in the lives of your children. The father figure is missing. So now, you as a father, at what age do you feel that the child should begin to receive education? From the parent.
From the parent, meaning the one that they get as early as you possibly can. You know, because
how early?
I think just at infancy we begin to teach
because,
our kids.
You go in some homes and then you see this child misbehaving, maybe 2-year-old, 3-year-old misbehaving, jumping on the couch here, there, and all they'll say is, he's still a baby, still a toddler. But
the earlier the better, actually. If you talk about molding and building character in a child, the earlier you start, the better. Because if you delay, they'll reach a stage they won't listen to you anymore. For example, you want to teach them values and all that, and they're in the teenage, you're too late. You've delayed. Okay, it's not a hopeless situation, but you've delayed. Start with them as early as 2, if I can say. As long as they can understand you and get all these, definitely you have to downgrade the issues to their level. Yeah, but you have to start as early as possible. I'm lost for the actual words that I can use, but talk about potty training. Yeah, that's what they call it.
Yes.
At what age do you start? As early as you possibly can. So by the time they reach, maybe is it 3 or probably even 2.5, they already know to say, okay, I want to go to the toilet, I want to wee-wee, I want to poo-poo. That just won't happen automatic. You have to train them. And I give thumbs up to my wife. She has done a tremendous job when it comes to potty training the kids. You find our kids stop messing themselves at a very tender age.
Wow.
All the 3. You know, though the second one delayed a little bit, but whatever the case, she was on point. She was always there to make sure they learn it all. And I know not all kids will learn at the same pace. So they're your kids. You need to study them. You need to understand who they are. That you start fusing in the right information and you start helping them. Here's the truth. There are values that they will not learn at school. There's a saying where they say charity begins at home.
Charity begins at home. That's right.
Yeah, so we need to start modeling good character right from home. Good values right from home, Christian values right from home. And you know, even finding out on their purpose, the careers they want to pursue and all that, it all has to start from home. You cannot wait for them to start picking these things up at school. But the only way it's going to happen is when we're involved. We start creating the time. Quantity time.
Quantity time, I like that. And honestly speaking, how is the response of your children when you begin to tell them, no, you don't do this is how you do this? How do they respond?
For me, what I've noticed, like I said, I remember when the first time we had our first child, I mean, she has a totally different personality to all the other 2. And just maybe her being the firstborn, I saw she became more responsible much faster compared to the other 2. But I've seen with her, she wouldn't challenge the instructions that we would give her. You know, she would just flow along so easily. She's just a sweetheart. But with the others, especially the guy, the last one, every time you say, don't do this, he wants to test the boundaries. He wants to push the boundaries.
He wants to find out why.
Yeah, and not just that. Yeah, he wants to see, okay, are you serious when you say you do this, I'm going to do this, you know. So
if it's the issue of daddy, are you serious? Maybe you, I can see you have a smiling face. Maybe you are telling him with a smile, say, don't do that. And then he's questioning, is daddy serious?
I've actually seen that at times they don't take me seriously because maybe I'm more on the friendly side than the firm side.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just realized I need to cultivate the firmness in me that they should say, okay, he means, even if I say it in the softest of ways, they should be able to realize that, okay, he is serious and he means it. When he says no, it's no. And when he says, okay, you know, do this, kids need to be able to follow instructions, and you start training them while they're small.
Okay.
If you see they cross the boundary, there should be a level of punishment so that they learn and see, okay, I'm not the one in charge, but my parents are the ones in charge. If you do a horrible job, your children are going to rule you. These kids of nowadays, they're going to rule you. They're going to run your home, and your home will be in a mess. So they should know that you are the one in charge. When you put your foot down, it should definitely just be, if it's a no, it should be a no. No two ways about it.
Okay.
If they misbehave, there should be a level of discipline that should follow afterwards.
Discipline. Whether you're a pastor or not.
Whether you're a pastor or
Daddy
not.
pastor. Okay, Pastor Dube. Education in Zambia, we're coming, it's 57 years down the line.
Okay.
For Zambia. And we're looking at the education system. We see that there are other subjects that really we see children in classes participating, and after they're done school, they don't really have something to look back on and say, thank God for this subject that I did. So we talked about, the other time we're talking about ability identification.
Okay.
Ability identification. So from home, you as a parent, as we take a break, as we return, I want you to elaborate more on, have you taken time as a parent from home to identify the abilities that your children have? Okay, Grace viewers, this is Education in Zambia, and we'll be right back. Please do send us your contributions and just let us know where you are watching us from. Stay tuned. Hello, I'm Esther, and I bring to you an exciting program which I call Education in Zambia. On this program, we'll endeavor to highlight literacy in Zambia, skills development, government-recognized schools and learning institutions, as well as job market opportunity. Education in Zambia comes to you on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, only on Grace TV. Grace TV, sharing God's grace. Hello, I'm Esther, and I bring to you an exciting program which I call Education in Zambia. On this program, we'll endeavor to highlight literacy in Zambia, skills development, government-recognized schools and learning institutions, as well as job market opportunity. Education in Zambia comes to you on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, only on Grace TV. Grace TV, sharing God's grace. Hello, I'm Esther, and I bring to you an exciting program which I call Education in Zambia. On this program, we'll endeavor to highlight literacy in Zambia, skills development, government-recognized schools and learning institutions, as well as job market opportunity. Education in Zambia comes to you on Monday. Welcome back. You are on Education in Zambia, and I'm chatting with Pastor Stephen Zambu Dube. He's the overseer of God's Dimension Ministry right here in Lusaka, Kuomboka, Chawama constituency for those that live in Zambia. Yes, sir. Before we went on a break, we talked about ability identification as a parent. Have you done that in your children?
Wow, that's a good one. That sounds very technical, actually. I'm thinking he needs an expert, maybe the very teachers at school to help us identify the abilities in our kids. One of the things I've done personally, I wouldn't say I've identified all their abilities, but so far, one of the things I've done is to even ask God to help me.
Okay.
You know, to be able to see the giftings and the plans that he has for them. I might have my own plan. I can just cook up my own plan for them. But is that what God wants for them? So one of the things I've really endeavored to do is to pray for myself, to pray for my wife as well, that we should have enough eyesight or insight to see the giftings and to understand the purpose that God has for these children that He has blessed us with. I'm in ministry. I wouldn't just want to drag them and force them to become, oh, you're all going to be pastors because I'm a pastor.
Be a pastor.
You're the only guy in the family. You should be a pastor too. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
You know, and I believe one of the things that can help is to expose them to different things.
Okay.
You know, to expose them, to give them different tasks, to try them in different environments, put them in different environments and see how they behave. Watch them even when they're playing with their friends. How do they behave?
That's right.
You know, because one time I was really moved. I saw my son comforting one child that was home. That child got hit, and he went and he was there rubbing the back of that child to say, and I'm like, empathy. At that age.
At that age.
Yeah, you know, this is good. You know, that tells me something that, okay, this guy has a heart.
Okay.
You know, and it's so good when you begin to know, you know, their abilities, their potentials and all. It even helps you it becomes easy for you to guide them in the careers that they're going to do and
That's
stuff.
the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah, but it takes patience, it takes you being involved, it takes you being there
Being
as
present.
a parent. Yeah, being present. But if you're always out,
You will not know.
then who is grooming your child? Who is nurturing your child? You know, who is teaching your children the values that they need to learn? You're leaving it to TV, you're leaving it to strangers.
Social media.
You know, yeah, you're leaving it to other people completely. And afterwards, when they have all these bad characters, and yet you didn't spend time with them, you just be wondering, where does my child get this from? You were not there. That's why you're
not
wondering.
there. Oh. I'd like to acknowledge Miriam Nicole Banda is watching. Thank you so much, Miriam, for tuning in and taking time to be with us on this program. Okay, now, Pastor, after you have done your ability identification of your children, you have endeavored to train them in the way they should go. Now, at some point, you have to release them to a stranger, somebody that they've never grown up with, somebody they'll probably be meeting for the first time, and I'm talking about school now.
Okay.
You have to pass them on to another person. How confident are you that they'll get the best? This will be another dimension of them getting education.
Like I'm emphasizing on you being around, you being present.
Okay.
As a parent, if you're absent, you won't even know if they're performing well at school or not. You won't even know if they are learning stuff or not. You know, because you're not present, you're not there, you don't know what's going on in their life. For example, my firstborn daughter was at a school that I'm not going to mention because maybe they might think I'm trying to speak down on their business. To begin with, she was doing very well at that school. And you know, she would come out number one and all. And I used to think, yeah, my child is doing pretty well. But one time she was with my niece, my sister's daughter.
Okay.
And you know, and my sister's daughter should be like 2 years behind in terms of schooling and what. So, but I saw she knew stuff that my daughter did not know. I was like, no, something is not right here. I'm thinking my child is doing well. When in actual sense they are stagnant, they're not moving. I had to change their school.
Okay.
But if I wasn't involved, I wasn't going to know that there was
weren't
this.
going to know.
You know, and if you talk about teachers, us having the confidence, us trusting them, these are people that have gone to get trained for that job. Yeah, but if we are involved in the lives of our kids, we even know the input that the teachers are doing in them.
Yes.
My eldest daughter she's always there to share stories with me. Oh, this is what my teacher said. This is what happened at school. I need to show an interest. And there are days when I'm tired, I don't even want to, you know, I don't want to do that. Like for example, just yesterday. Yesterday was a Sunday, you know, so it's in the night. I went home, then I left, then I went back. Must have been around 18 or 19. So what do they tell them? Oh, we have a show that we want to present to you. And I'm like, come on, guys. I really wasn't interested because I was tired.
You're
but
tired.
My eldest daughter goes like, no, we put in effort. You need to see this.
You need to just,
I dragged it. Then I said, okay, there is no running away. So I had to let them present their whole thing.
Okay.
You know, so if you're involved, you will know if the teachers are doing a good job. You will know if what they're, and you just have to trust them at the end of the day. But how else are you going to know? And I believe there are days at school, depending the school that you're at, where they'll call you for the parent to go pick up their report forms and stuff of that nature. Go there, interact with the teachers, get to know what they say about your daughter, how she's performing there, whether the things you've been teaching them at home, they are being applied, they are following in that same model that you've built in their lives.
Okay. I'd like to also appreciate Prophet Teddy Sakala, who is saying blessings to you, Grace family. Thank you so much, Prophet Sakala, for tuning into our program. And now we are remaining with 5 minutes to go. And now you being a parent, and what kind of Zambian education would you like to see? Do you think we are on path, on track, or we are lacking?
I say there's room for improvement.
Okay.
And I think Africa as a whole, I think we have woken up now. I would say there was a time we were asleep. We would just get anything that's been given to us as long as it's coming from overseas. Because if you see the education system that we used to follow in my time when I was going to school, it was all done from the UK. Even the exams we used to write, they were not set here in Zambia. So are here, Cambridge and stuff of that nature. Yes. But we've moved from that. At least we're able to set our own exams and everything. I think we should tailor-make our education system to such a point that it will help our kids to become relevant people in society. And not just that, it should be so practical to a point if that child can't get a job, they should have a skill that they can work with, at least that helps them to stand on their 2 feet, even when they're not employed by somebody. But if we have an education system that just prepares you for employment, then there is a problem. Our system should be so vibrant, so effective to a point where it's going to help the young people. And
it's not just supposed to be the white-collar job.
It shouldn't just be a white-collar job, actually. There are so many areas that people can get into. Talk about entrepreneurship, starting businesses and stuff. Right. These are things that should be taught. I hope that these are things that are being taught, and these are things that young people are learning at school, even at a tender age. Imagine you teach a child about money while they're still in primary school. Where will they be by the time they get into grade 12?
That's the thing.
In our time, we would have all these subjects that you are learning, and without you talked about understanding the abilities of a child. Maybe a child has got no interest in mathematics, but you want to force them in the path to do mathematics. It's not going to work.
I've just remembered something.
Yeah.
You're teaching this child 1 + 1, and you can get it. You are hitting the child. Give the child another thing. Brilliant.
Yeah, you see, so let's know their giftings. Let's know their strength. It's a whole lot of work to educate a nation. It's a whole lot of work it's a whole lot of work to educate a family. It's a whole lot of work to educate a community and a nation. But it's all going to take all of us getting involved. First of all, it starts from home.
It starts from home.
Us parents need to be present and need to be actively involved in the things that are happening in the lives of our kids.
All right. A word in a minute to a teacher and a parent, a fellow parent. What would you say if you look into that camera?
To the teachers, I'm saying you are doing a tremendous job. You are the ones that are building future leaders for our nation, definitely with the involvement of parents. To the parents, I say, don't be too busy for your kids. I know we want to make the money so that we can do all the good things that we want to do for our kids, but you cannot give your kids everything. But one of the best things you can give them is a good education. I can tell you that will be with them. Even if you didn't give them all the money, if you've given them education, they will go out there, they will work and make the money that they need. So be present. Don't be an absent father. Don't be an absent mother. Be there for your kids.
Wow. I'm sure all the teachers, the parents, and all the relevant authorities, they have heard our discussion and what we're looking forward to seeing, the type of education that we want to see here in Zambia. Well, this has been Education in Zambia with me, Esther. I was chatting with Pastor Stephen Zambu Dube from God's Dimension Ministries right here in Lusaka. So thank you so much for finding time to be with us here.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, from us, Grace TV family, we are saying bye-bye. Join me on Wednesday with another interesting program. Hello, I'm Esther, and I bring to you an exciting program which I call Education in Zambia. On this program, we'll endeavor to highlight literacy in Zambia, skills development, government-recognized schools and learning institutions, as well as job market opportunity. Education in Zambia comes to you on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, only on Grace TV. Grace TV, sharing God's grace.